Bloody Mary. I stumbled across an old article in the newspaper from England. I found it in an old shoebox full of other news clippings. My mother used to be into some weird things when she lived there. It seemed like she was a ghost hunter. Just telling by the pictures and news clippings I found, I asked my mother about them. She told me not to worry. She took the shoebox, then burned it. She wouldn't tell me about her past life as a ghost hunter. Not even my father knew about her dark, creepy past. I kept one of the articles, the one on the case called Ghost Murder. I kept a lot of her weird, creepy photos also. One photo that was the scariest was the one called Bloody Mary. It had the title written on it out of black marker. It was a young woman standing in the mirror with black eyes and long dark hair. Her eyes were like demon-like, like Hellraiser black. She was in a gown and was holding a knife like she wanted to kill someone. The picture was a little blurred, like whoever took it was running or backing away really fast. On the photo, you can see a bloody handprint on the mirror. I really became curious to what happened. I read the articles. One was about 3 women in a hospital. They found their bodies in the restroom. All the bodies must have been stabbed over 60 times each. There were crime scene photos from the case. One of them showed a picture of a girl slashed to pieces. Another picture was of a girl with her eyes gouged out. I started to feel sick, so I put the pictures away. I wanted to test this urban legend theory, but I was too afraid to do it by myself. So I called my girlfriend Lucy, told her about what I wanted to do. I didn't tell her about the shoebox I found or the articles. She brought her friend Helen. We met at my house around 9 p.m. We watched some horror movies, Halloween by Rob Zombie and The Dawn of the Dead. After the last movie, me and Lucy went upstairs to do you know what. When we finished, Lucy was so hyped up for a scare. She was calling her friend up. I hurried to put my clothes on. I didn't want Helen to see me naked or even think we did anything while she was downstairs. My girlfriend didn't seem to care. She walked around with her tits out, with only panties on. I threw her shirt to her. Helen walked in, then gave me a look of shame. I was like, all right, ready? Let's call the bitch. We all went into my restroom. I shut the door, then locked it. I locked it to scare the girls.
Yeah, lock the door, Kevin. Very scary,
Lucy said. I chuckled, then looked at the mirror. The images of the dead girls started popping up in my mind. My heart started to speed up. I turned the light off, then back on. Let's not do this, I said. I didn't know why my mother acted so strange about the shoebox, and I thought maybe she burned it for a reason.
Chicken, chicken, chicken,
said Helen.
Are you scared, Kevin? If you are, you can wait outside. Me and Helen can call little Mary ourselves,
Lucy said. I didn't want to be the one who was scared. They would hold this against me if I didn't go through with it. I asked the girls if they were ready. They nodded their head. We all looked at the mirror. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Nothing's happening. Tell her to touch Kevin's butt,
said Lucy.
I'm going to slit your throat.
The voice whispered into my left ear. I was shaking. I couldn't stop. Both my girlfriend and her friend had never moved from where they were standing. I was about to tell them what I heard when the lights came back on. On the mirror, a bloody handprint stained the glass. The blood ran down into the sink. As soon as we all stared at the print, we seen her in the mirror, standing right behind us. The lights went off. I went for the door. So did the girls, but we couldn't open it. Then there was this creepy voice on the outside of the door.
I'm going to cut you all up.
Then there was a sound on the door. It sounded like a knife being ran through the wood.
Kevin, stop fucking playing.
Lucy said.
Something's touching you. Get it off. Get it off.
Helen said. I reached, feeling the wall for the light switch, but couldn't find it. I knew where it was, but it was gone. We all panicked. The light came back on. Mary was stabbing Helen. I grabbed the door handle, then twisted it with all I had. It would not open. I kicked it, then punched it. Mary slit Helen's throat. My girlfriend ran to her, but I grabbed my girlfriend's arm, forcing her to stay with me. Helen gagged as she clenched her throat. Mary then stabbed Helen's back multiple times. Helen finally bled to death. Mary stood up as the light flickered. She pulled the knife out of Helen's back, then made her way to us. The light went out. I put my girlfriend behind me, which put her next to the door. Then I started swinging my fist. I threw punches so fast I didn't care. I wanted to live. Then a creepy voice came from all around us in the dark.
I'm going to kill you. You want blood? I will give you blood.
Then the most horrible thing happened.
Kevin.
I moved quickly to my girlfriend. She was in pain. I didn't know what was happening. I picked her up. As I did, light shined into the dark of the bathroom. Holes. So many holes stabbed through the door. I felt my shirt become soaked with wetness. I knew in my heart what it was. My girl. She was stabbed. And I came into view in one of the holes in the door, a woman's eye.
One more left. Bloody Kevin. Bloody Kevin. Bloody Kevin.
She called my name. I held my girlfriend as she gasped for air. One of the stab wounds was in the back of her neck. I found it in the dark, then covered it the best I could.
I'm going to kill you.
In my right ear, her voice was heard. It sent shivers throughout my whole body. The bathroom door opened. My mother stood in the doorway with fear in her face. She screamed. I sat holding my girlfriend, drenched in her blood. I couldn't even speak. I tried, but my mouth kept quivering. My words mumbled out. I couldn't form a straight sentence, nor could I stop myself from shaking. My mother tried to tell the police what she seen. She told them she came back from out of town with my father. She then found me like that, which was part of the truth. And that a serial killer had somehow made her way into our home. But there was no evidence left No force of entry, no skin fragments. I was the only witness to what had happened. The knife wasn't even found. They placed the murders on me. My mother knew what I had done and couldn't risk telling an old ghost tale to save my life. Who would believe it anyhow? My mother told me over the phone that if she acknowledged Bloody Mary or even warned anyone of the truth, she would be killed violently. So would the people she told. My mother told me to keep it to myself. I decided since I'm on death row for something I didn't do, why not share a bit of urban legend? Come on. Who's going to believe me?